Hey, what's going on? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a versus video for you guys. So we're going to put album up against album. Now, the two bands that we're going to go over here are both legends in the metal genre. Those two bands being Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. Of course, some of the biggest bands in metal. Some people might say that they're some of the greatest heavy metal bands around, and I would honestly agree with that. So the two albums that we're going to talk about in this video are Senjutsu by Iron Maiden from 2021 and Judas Priest with their newest album, Invincible Shield. Which, by the way, I really dig this artwork. So what do these two albums have in common? Well, they're both really big bands in the metal genre, and these are both the latest albums from each of these bands. So I thought, why not do a versus video for these two albums in particular? Both of them, I have to say, really came by surprise. Like, I remember when both these albums were announced, like, they really took me by surprise. Like, it's really funny when a band that you know is working on new material, like, it's still, like, shocking when they announce new stuff. Like, really, already? Like, it's about time. You know, and sometimes it takes a long time for some of these bands to put out music, and even then you're shocked that they announce something new. But either way, yeah, these albums really took me by surprise. I already do know which one I like more, but because Senjutsu came out first, let's go ahead and talk about this album first. Now, I do have to say, I think that this is a good album, but I won't say it's a great album. I don't think the album has held up that well. I mean, there are still some songs on this album that I do like. There is still some solid material on here. Like the title track, for instance, pretty solid. And you do have Lost in a Lost World, Days of Future Past. There's some solid songwriting on here. I mean, it is definitely modern Iron Maiden sounding. Like, if you've listened to modern Maiden before this, you know what you're going to get pretty much. They pretty much do similar ideas that they did on the Book of Souls on this album. Although, there are some songs on this album that kind of ring Dance of Death for me, actually. Which is kind of cool, because I think that album is sort of underrated, actually. But yeah, Senjutsu, it is good, but like I said, I wouldn't call it great. It's definitely not one of their best. Now, when the album came out, I did say that I liked it more than the Book of Souls, the previous album. Would I still stand by that opinion nowadays? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. They're both kind of like on that same level for me. Like, they're just good albums, but not great albums. Personally, I think Iron Maiden needs to step away from doing really long albums like this, where they're double albums. 2 discs, basically. I think that they need to step away from that. I mean, it worked for them back in the 80s, where they did albums that were, you know, you could say a little bit shorter, you know, where, you know, maybe they had like 8 songs, but one of the songs was an epic, like Power Slave. That album in particular, like, why they can't do anything like that again is beyond me. I don't know if Iron Maiden plans on making any more music. I mean, I welcome it, but if this is their final bow, so be it, you know. They definitely had a legendary run, but all in all, it is good. There are some good songs on here, some good, enjoyable tracks on here. Many different ideas on this album. You do get a little bit of vibes from other albums of theirs and everything, so that's kind of cool, you know. So I can't really complain about that in particular. So Senjutsu from Iron Maiden, I would say it's good, but not great. And now let's go ahead and move on to Invincible Shield from Judas Priest, which did release this year, 2024. And this is a good album. I don't think it's as good as their previous album, Firepower. But with that said, Still a solid album. Still really dig this one. I mean, like with Firepower, this album does show that Judas Priest can still make quality music, still make really great heavy metal music. Everything from Rob Halford's vocals to the riffs and everything, really cool stuff. I mean, of course, you have really solid stuff on here. Panic Attack, the title track, The Serpent and the King, Crown of Thorns, Sons of Thunder. Some really solid stuff on here for sure. I mean, if you like Judas Priest, you probably will dig this one. So, Invincible Shield, really good album for sure from Judas Priest. So, for the winner of this video, who would I give the winner to? Senjutsu from Iron Maiden or Invincible Shield from Judas Priest? I got to give the winner to Invincible Shield from Judas Priest. This is the winner of this video, simply because I think the replay value is a little bit better. And I just think all in all, it's a stronger album. You know, it has better songwriting. I feel like they did a lot right on this album. Like, I feel like they just did something better with this album than Iron Maiden did with their latest album, you know? But it is what it is. It's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. If you prefer Senjutsu, that's totally okay. To each his own, as they say. But for me, gotta go with Invincible Shield. So let me know what you think. Which album do you like more, Senjutsu by Iron Maiden or Invincible Shield by Judas Priest? Feel free to let me know in the comments. So with that said, thanks for watching.